My name is Stefan Brigati, and I've been investigating the paranormal for over 30 years. Come along with me and my team as we take a journey into the unknown. This is my darkest hour.
Hello there, everybody. Welcome to another edition of My Darkest Hour. It's so great to see all of you out there. You know you're having a good time, enjoying the summer, getting out there and doing some paranormal investigating, I hope, and making sure you guys are safe, making sure you guys are investigating smart. Remember, safe and smart is the way to go. So, moving right along, you guys know about many things. We did the Paracon recently. We've had a few people on the show since the Paracon. Moving right along with that, I want to give a shout out to all the people who showed up and came, and all those who supported the Paracon, and of course all my speakers and vendors. Without them, it doesn't really make any sense, because it's not really a gathering or a convention unless we have all of our family together, and that's exactly what this Paracon has turned out to be, the Pacific Coast Paracon, which I do every year. It's just, you kind of just go with it and see what happens, and it gets better and better every year, and more people come and more people learn from each other, and it's a gathering where people in the field and the industry can get together and share their stories, share some ideas, share evidence they have, meet some of the incredible speakers that we have, and talk about different aspects of the paranormal. And that goes along with the same thing at the university I teach at, the University Magic Fest, where we have all these different incredible teachers with years and years of experience teaching many different things, from paranormal investigation to tarot card reading to Wiccan practices, all different kinds of practices. So I definitely recommend checking out. You can go to magicu.com and see what we have to offer. Going back to my speakers from the Paracon, my guests tonight are not only two of the speakers from the Paracon, and honestly, I'm going to just throw it out there. These are two of my most favorite people in the whole world, who I absolutely love and cherish them, and they are dear to my heart. Really, really good friends of mine, and I am fortunate to say they are part of my paranormal team, Pacific Coast Paranormal, which has just really grown. All the people involved have just uh, gone so far in what they do, and it's really been an honor to investigate with some of these incredible investigators and psychics that I work with. And I get to see them move on to these incredible things they do. And my guest tonight is Tara Mead and Van Doren Figueredo. And you guys know them. They've been on the show multiple times, and have you seen the stuff that we do with the Pacific Coast Paranormal? And what they're doing now is just moving out of that, what really truly believe is the next level of putting the work out there, not only to help the field, but to help people in general. They've become part of this wonderful, wonderful team of people that are connected worldwide. And, watching what they do, it really makes a big difference in changing people's lives. So let's just not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and bring them on the show, everybody. Let's see, get them into the green room and bring them out here. All right. And I'll even turn on your microphones. How's that? Does that sound like a plan? Hey, guys.
Yes, hi.
Hey, thank you for that wonderful introduction. We love you so much. Learning all wonderful things about so many years. I love you, my brother. Thank you again for having us.
Anytime.
It's Absolutely. Such an honor. It's an honor, Stefan, to be able to work together, all of us as a team, and collaborate. And thank you for having us on the show.
Well, thanks for being here. And I've worked with both you guys for a while now. Even you, Van Doren. I mean, it seems like it's been a short time, but I started thinking about when we first met on that case that you brought us into. That was a while ago now. I'm like, wow. Where does all
What
that time fly?
when I was scared? When I was scared?
Yeah.
Judd, yes, I recall.
Well, that was a good case. That was some weird stuff going on. So I was like, what? So,
Well,
yeah.
I'll have to say, Stefan, since that day I became a believer because I saw things I've never seen before. So I'm still here.
Yeah. And you see, and you're just going and you're moving through it and you're expanding. I think that's absolutely wonderful. What you guys do is incredible. And Tara, you take some of the greatest pictures I've seen. I mean, literally, you handed me a photograph one day. And for those Tara is the spirit photographer of the team, of course, because how can I get any better than that? She handed me a photo one day, and I had to really check myself and what I was thinking and believing because the picture was so good. It made my mind start to backpedal. It's like, okay, hold on, what? And I've been doing this since the beginning of time. I'm old as dirt, and I see this, and it just blew my mind. And then time and time again, you're saying, "Oh, I saw this lady. I got a picture of a lady," and I'm thinking, "Okay, it's going to be something that looks like a lady." And sure enough, she shows me a picture, and it's like some lady smiling into the camera. Like, what? That is the lady. So you have this natural ability to, I guess, what's with your energy, inviting the spirits out to really show themselves to you. When you be in my picture, they're just like posing and stuff. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Yes, I have come a long way by experimenting, learning a lot from you, but using a lot of science and going a step ahead and communicating. Specifically, even now with one case at a time, I work with missing persons, and whether they're alive or not, family can show me in photographs what's going on, and if not, they can help tell us perhaps where they are, what's happened to them. So it is fascinating, even to myself, to come up with these people that smile. I mean, it's all about communication and energy. And just like they're here next to me, when I photograph, they're really not in the mirror, they're next to me. So it does feel really good to be able to help everybody that way and to help individuals that lose family members or animals, because it really does heal the heart.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely. And that connection, how many spirits see people every day and nobody connects with them, and they're just like ignored. Talk about just feeling ignored and left out when you're there in the room with the whole family and nobody sees you and you're just kind of forgotten. That sucks. But when you come in there and you make that connection, like, hey, I know you're over here, bond with me, be in my picture, come on. They're like, wow, this person's interacting with me. What? I am somebody now. Yay. And that's why they're always smiling in your pictures. They're like little glamour shots. That was
Yeah.
It helps all the clients, specifically when they're smiling, to let them know that they're there, they're happy, they're healthy, they're paradise. So they love that. And I'm thankful to have this ability. And I do keep trying to do different things. So you never know what happens next.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Very cool. Very cool. What about you, Van Doren? How you been doing?
I've been doing good. I have to say that without either of you have, you guys have really helped me grow. Teaching, watching, seeing what you guys do. That's how I've learned to take things and move forward, because without asking questions, without going through the experience, for me, I guess it's learning all about it, and being psychic or intuitive, I was able to tap in further and take this a little further forward, and I said, you know what, Tara, let's try this. Let's see where this goes. And it's just been like booming,
Yeah, that's awesome. And this whole concept that you guys are doing, is like really huge, because you hear in the psychic world, in the investigative world, you hear a little bit about this kind of stuff, but nothing really brought together with organization. And I think
Right.
that's the key factor. When you get a bunch of people across different parts of the world that
Right.
can communicate well together, it just makes that net much stronger and wider.
Well, it has everything to do with energy and the connection, not, almost like being in the same frequency with another psychic or another. It's like playing music. You all have to play music to make it sound good, right? So that's how it is in missing persons. You get a good team, strong team, and you have friends, and they become your family, and you're connected, from different states, different countries, and you still have the connection for so many years. It works. It really works. And it's the same thing, Stefan, like when they say the power of prayer, you know, it works just the same way.
Absolutely. It's all that concentration and focus, and
Yes.
everything that we do in life is intent. So when we're just harnessing that energy and focusing, opening that connection, especially being intuitive, that's how it works. People just think it's like some kind of mechanism that turns on. It's like, no, you have to just kind of quiet yourself and balance yourself and focus yourself, and then all of a sudden things start coming to you. And a lot of people don't understand that. It's like, yeah, if you have that kind of concentration and other people chiming in to do it together, then it's just, you're just going to see so much. You can see so much
Right.
more than we really thought before.
It's bigger than what we think, and actually everybody has their own technique, their own niche, and that's what they use. Some people can use remote viewing, some meditation, some dream, they have their own way, and then we just put it all together. They put it all in the pot, and then we piece it together.
Yeah,
And
that's what you got to do.
we don't know each other. There are people from around the world, and we go by initials and state. So it's great when we all come up with the same story. So that just like makes the whole puzzle. So it's just validation after validation. I think that's just really cool. It makes me feel good every single time.
You know what, Stefan? It makes me question, and you're right, Tara. It just like with what you said just right now, you start questioning, like, wow, there's got to be something bigger than me. There's got to be something that's making this. Why is everybody saying the same thing? And we're in different countries and we don't even know each other. How does that work? There's something way bigger than us.
Oh yeah, I hope so. I mean, I totally suck, so there's got to be something bigger than me. I'm a constant work in progress. I mean, whatever.
Well, you do question your abilities, but you find out that you start growing and learning more. Like you take it to another level of what you already know. And that's the best part of it. It's like you're not scared anymore because you do have that support. You do have that team support.
Yeah, and I think that's what really builds the gap, makes it stronger.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
So everybody, we're talking to Van Doren and Tara Mead, and if you guys want to check it out, I could put up this. I want you guys to be able to go see exactly what we're talking about. There is the website right there, onecaseatatime.com, and that's spelled out one case at a time, not a number one, because that never works. You won't find their website if you do it that way. You'll find something else, who knows. But that will bring you to exactly what we're talking about. And what they have is this thing called the S-Files. Yes, it's kind of like the X-Files, but it's a bunch of cases, we got to file it somewhere, right? So the S-Files, and one case at a time, which is they mainly focus on the current case that they get, and they all kind of team up together to work on it. So can you guys tell us a little bit about that process? All of a sudden, you guys are getting some information, and where does it start with?
So it starts with someone reaching out. They contact us on a website. Usually it's always a referral. They say their loved one is missing, or we connect with someone that's connected to the police department, and they say this person's missing. And that's where we all, we reach out to everybody. We say this is the next case. All we work with is a flyer and location. That's it. That's all. We don't have anything else but that flyer, that picture, and the last location seen. And we all tune in at the same time. It's like you turn on the switch, we say to everybody on the team, okay, let's do this, let's go. It's you turn on the energy switch and everybody starts focusing on that flyer, that person, the location, and everybody has 2 days to submit their information and it works great. Then it gets all compiled, it gets sent out. But in the meantime, while that's being sent out to the family or wherever, that person shows up and they get found.
Wow, that's really cool.
It's so cool because Tara will have her story on her spirit photography, right, Tara?
Yes. Specific cases, I come up with the person if they're passed away, some not, because some of their family will come through and show me information. So I try to read the photos, and those who have passed away come through quite clearly. And some of them are looking for justice or to show their family member that they're okay. So that starts the whole process. And it is great to have a visual on that as well as reading, because you can see the eyes of people sometimes, mostly, and it's just the clarity. And it's just so cool to be able to go and do what I do, come back, work on these photos, and ooh, there they are.
And Tara, being a medium, she channels the information of the family member that passed away on the case, and she tells the story, and it just like it blows us away, the information that comes through Tara.
That is awesome. How cool is that?
It just feels very.
The person compiling all the information together into one report, that's got to be just amazing, reading through everybody's finding and seeing the pieces connect. Like, oh, that's coincidence. She's over here talking about that, and then he said it's the same thing. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
The puzzles just are unfolding. How cool is that?
That's the masterpiece right there. When the report comes out and you read it, you're like, wow, this is some divine intervention, because once they're found, and then everything on the report validates everything that took place. It could be specific locations, it could be street names, names of people, it could be, detailed information.
Absolutely. I think that's incredible. I'm surprised nobody really thought about this sooner. But I think the way that technology works and people can communicate a lot easier nowadays, I think that really just kind of unfolds and comes together. I think it's an amazing service, and I wish more people were more in tune to that just for those reasons. And it's really cool. I was on your website, and I saw that you guys look for pets too, which is huge. Who doesn't love pets, right?
Yes, Van Doren has an incredible story on a case that she had worked on about a horse in another country. So
yeah, that one, I'm going to talk about that case. That one's an S file because that was total divine intervention. There was someone that came out and reached out and said, "Can you find our horse? It got stolen from the property." This was in Mexico, so of course we're in California, and you think, how are we going to find this horse? So as soon as we turn the switch on, like, okay, let's start looking for this horse, everybody starts tuning in. Well, I have this niche about remote viewing. I don't know. I could travel and I could see things in places. And I remember I was given a map and I circled the area where I felt was this horse. And yeah, there was a ranch actually that was, it was a slaughterhouse for animals, for horses. I don't know what kind of animals, but they found many horses there with the information that was given to them in the report. They found a ranch that was slaughtering animals, selling them, and they had found a lot of illegal firearms and even hostages. So
hostages?
broke. Yeah, that broke the case. You know, you had the federales come and raid the ranch. Yeah, it was a
And
big
where was
deal
it at?
in Mexico.
Oh, okay, in Mexico. I'm like,
I'm
what are they?
I'm talking about remote viewing, using that
Yeah,
ability to travel and spot that place.
that's powerful stuff. Look at that.
Yeah, well, I didn't find out the details until this year, but they kept that for a while. I guess maybe I needed to absorb it, but I was crying. You know, I mean, it was those are in divine intervention cases. So did we find the horse? No, but the spirit of the horse was guiding us to where this place was, and that's how we located, because animals have spirits too.
Wow,
Beautiful. Yeah, it's a beautiful photo of the girl reunited with her horse, just kind of kissing his nose, and it was a good feeling. You know, she's got an incredible gift as well, and putting all this together, all this energy, really does help solve cases. Quite a few, like I was saying, whether they're alive or whether they're not, there's always some form of a case that we can follow through with and then have an answer.
It brings closure actually to families, whether they're alive or not. Usually spirit guides us to the finding. And there could be cold cases that we may not be able to locate yet, which we're still working on, but they still are cases that are open.
Oh, that's awesome. And are you guys constantly getting flooded with cases?
It's like when you ask, they shall come, and they do. They just come in one after the other, and I'm constantly sending pictures, and okay, let's work on this one. Even some locally on the news, all through California or wherever, we get the information and run with it. And some of them, one cold case file, I have an incredible picture of this person, and he shows me everything, like just different. I could come up with the story of my own by reading into the photo and kind of just a connection with him, as well as all the other psychics, which they hit everything verbally, and it's all perfectly true, beginning to end. So helping, whether it's 20, 30, 40 years ago, there's always an answer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have this other case I wanted to share. This was another one in Mexico. This flyer had been just circulating around the social media, and I reached out, and they actually, family reached out, and they said, can you help find? And I had a connection, and I said, they're by the border in Tijuana. I'm sure that's what I pick up. And we had this conversation on chat. A week later goes by. I reach out. Is there any findings on this person? They said, not yet. Do you still connect with them? I said, I don't connect with them anymore. And when I don't connect, it's because they're not here anymore. And it's okay. It's okay for me to not feel that. So I accept the fact that they may not be here. The family is aware. Well, they found him 21 days later in a morgue in Mexico, in TJ. He had been John Doe. And that was pretty shocking, because the remote viewing that I had seen him, it was the area that he was at. And he happened to die in Mexico, but no one identified him. So he had been there 21 days as a John Doe. They finally identified him. They gave him a nice funeral here in the States. So that was another S file, because it's spirit, it's soul, it's that divine intervention that helps us find people.
Wow, that's intense.
It is. Even with animals, we have someone local, semi-local, that some people, their animals mean just as much to them as their family. They are family. So when we get these bits of information, we all go and explain I try to get pictures of animals. And we have a case where we did find someone's animal, their cat. There's cases we've had. One is still out there missing, which I think we all have a little bit of an idea that someone really liked that cat and just kind of wanted to keep it.
Yep.
But the other one is home now.
Mm-hmm.
So the big reward for us, we don't charge, but the outcome is a huge reward. It just strengthens us, I believe.
And sometimes there are people that are very emotional at the time. We have people on the team that can connect with the family and console them. So we have therapists that are certified to console families too.
That's awesome, because that's what part of it is. Even as a paranormal investigator, I'm always talking about that kind of situation, because you're not just going out there to, talk to the family and the spirit. You're almost going out there to be a counselor. We're looking for solutions. This is what's happening. How can we help with this? Whether it's dealing with the loss or something tragic, you're still there, giving that sense of feeling, that bonding for them, so they don't feel so alienated and lost, because that's exactly what happens. Letting them know that you're there for them to help.
We together, Pacific Coast Paranormal, for many years have done exactly that as well. Just so many different cases, but explaining to people, educating them as to what's happening, and then beyond that is just amazing. Some people ask, how do you do that? Well, it's scientific based. It is very real, and it's connection, it's energy, and just as if they were, whether they're here or not, you just kind of have conversation, and that's where it all starts.
And we're just as normal as anybody else. We have our own family, our own lives. I mean, we do normal things. We just work on this type of how do I call it? As a team, it just brings a peace of mind to know you can give back to the community in this way, in not just like, oh, this is scary, oh, this is not okay, oh, this is evil, are you kidding me? We just are talented, and we just go out and we give back double.
True. It's very true. And it's another service, because when things are happening out there and things don't make a lot of sense, who are they going to call? The fire department? Yeah, there's something throwing things around in the bathroom of my house. There's nobody in there, but things are moving. The fire department's not going to come out and help you.
Right.
The exterminator, the pest control guy, that guy's not coming by. The gardener, forget about it. Yeah.
So it's great.
Providing a service. That's what it's all about. Community, helping each other.
Another thing is there's a lot of respect here with our team, because if someone's not feeling it, if someone's not connecting, or someone doesn't feel well, or there's a lot of chaos going on with them, they won't work on a case. They'll just step back and they'll work on one when they feel better. So it doesn't throw off the energy, because energy is everything. Energy is everything.
Exactly that. Everyone knows how they're feeling, and I always say that, before you head out there, make sure you check everything going on with you physically, because sometimes you have a bug or something. I've been on investigations where people go out there and they're hungry, so they want to eat real quick, and they just stuff themselves and they get sick. All of a sudden, where people are laying down on an investigation or throwing up in the back of Tara's van or whatever.
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah.
I remember that quite well.
Yeah. Yes. But yeah, you always got to check how your body feels, because when you're going into a haunted location, your body's going to tell you what's happening before, and you pull out any equipment. You're going to start, your senses are going to start kicking in. That whole gut instinct, which is your first level of psychic ability. The first thing that kicks in, you're like, whoa, hold on, something's going on. Then you start tuning into the room and stuff, and all that energy's coming. You're like, oh, okay, this is what's going on. So you really need to know your body well, because if it's some gas station sushi you got on the way to the investigation, on the that could be a factor too, making you not feel good. So you got to know what's up.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's just great to walk in and just have a clean idea. Your head is not anywhere else but on the case. And many times that is definitely how I can have this clarity, is just to drop everything around me and just focus.
Absolutely.
Go with it. Yeah.
Hey, Tara, did you want to share some pictures or something? Remember we're talking about sharing the screen at one point?
I'm actually don't know. Trying to look it up, but if anyone wants to go to our site, all of our photos are there, and they're under S files and under just discoveries. So specifically, what some cases we're talking about here, you can see them there. And I don't know how to do that working with together here online. I'm not sure, but my computer is down and I have stuck with my phone, and that's kind of where I was going to show the pictures. But like I said, they're on our website, and that is the best place to go check it out.
All right. And once again, the website is onecaseatatime.com. That's right. It's onecaseatatime.com. Go there and check that out. Hit those photographs. See what Tara's got going on. There's a lot of good stories on there as well. I definitely recommend if you know somebody out there who's dealing with a situation or maybe looking for information on somebody, you might try reaching out to them at the S-Files to see if there's something that they can do and kind of throw their net out there across the world to see if they can pick up on that energy where that person might be. Because there is a lot of success stories happening here. It's absolutely amazing, you know. And like I said, I can't believe people haven't done this before, but at least now it's begun, and now people have a place to go for that kind of service. And these two right here are some of the best out there. So I just want to say, you know, if you're looking for information, just reach out to them. And how would they get a hold of you? They just email the website? Is that exactly how they would contact you?
That's correct.
Well, excellent. So what else is going on? What's the future look like for everything?
We are advertising. I'm going to put up a banner at the local school, which is on the main street, and everybody's going to see that just by word of mouth. See it. I go to meetings and give our business cards away. So when I do that, I expect if that person gives one card away, 10 people are going to know about it. Just, oh, well, somebody's missing, my animal's missing, whatever's missing. That is right there, you know, it's out in the open. So we're trying to get this rolling as big as we can, and it's really doing well.
Awesome.
Quite well. Yes.
Do you guys ever get any people reaching out to you trying to find like old people who just kind of wandered off?
Oh yeah, definitely. There was a case, a woman that had dementia over in San Diego. She walked out of the facility. She had been missing for 3 days, and it was all over in San Diego, and no one can find her. An employee came to me and she says, "Can you please help me find her?" I had been working with her in that facility, and I said, "Okay, go to 40th Street, go to this area," because I saw it in my dreams. So I only get to see things either when I'm asleep. So I take a lot of naps.
Ah, there you go.
A lot of naps.
Hold on, I'll check on that right now. All right, I'm out.
Yeah, let me go to sleep. Hold on, I'll be back.
Yeah.
So when like 3-4 days later, yeah, the police department found her walking in the freeway 3 days later. So, and she was by 40th Street because the freeway's off 40th Street near there. So that was really, really exciting to know that this 83-year-old woman was found. So it was such a relief for the person that reached out, but they don't like to tell that they went to a psychic to help find, help
Oh,
find it.
totally.
I don't know what that's about, but they won't
there's-
talk about using a psychic.
Yeah, it's because people think, oh, that's not concrete evidence, though. That's just like a lucky guess. Because, there's no hardcore proof. I can't mathematically show you this is the box they use to find that person, that kind of stuff. So, and this has been happening for years. The police, the FBI, they've been using psychics for years. Our government, come on, forever.
Yep.
But when something good goes down, they're like, oh, yeah, we totally didn't do that. We went over here. We did this instead. It was easy. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Give credit where credit is due.
Yeah, the spirit photography comes in because that's visual proof, and they can't argue with that. I don't even have Photoshop on my equipment, so it is all direct. And how could I not have, or when I have this picture and it matches the grandparents, the family, aunt, uncle, and the story that I read and I tell them, it all comes together. So we do have proof, and I think we're really fortunate to all have that and work together, story and photo, because I don't know these people from around the world, and there they are. So hope they start to use that, and actually, it does really help.
It does. And, being a psychic, you get to a point in your life that you can't just be a psychic, and you can't just get paid for being a psychic. It gets old, you have to evolve and use that ability, because it is a God-given ability, to expand and see how you're going to give back to the community, to people, to others, because you can't hoard that gift. It's not going to go anywhere if you just keep hoarding it, right? Because
Exactly.
it'll get debunked or something.
Right. I think you get stronger the more you use abilities, and that's something that's why I like to progress and try different things, and communication reading, show me this, have a spirit show me what's happened, maybe where they are, what happened to them, because I do have a case where someone was hurt, and this person that hurt this person survived, but my photos, what I see is this person has hurt many people. I call that a serial killer. And I could see each individual just beaten, or their eyes are closed, their mouth is open. Some of them are children, some of them are adults, mostly males. But it is clearly seen that, the whole entire ugly picture. But that tells the story, and that gives us a boost on where to go, what to do, how to work on it, a particular case.
So what happens as we deal with a case at a time, we're also dealing with our own case, meaning ourselves as a case. We evolve, we grow. So we're one case at a time. Each team member is a case. One case at a time comes in, and we all evolve together. So it kind of is a message in a bigger message.
Yes.
That's awesome. I just love all of that, and then other people out there, who feel they're psychic and maybe learning about their abilities, see the work that you guys are doing, and it kind of gives them a direction, and like, hey, I can do this correctly. I can help other people as well, and I can maybe grow up and do this kind of stuff, and focusing on your gifts, the talents that we're all given. The more you do use it, the stronger your expansion is. Because the tool, you learn how to use the tools better and better the more you use them.
Absolutely. So when you work on a case, for example, a missing person, it gets very emotional, very, very emotional. Like you get so attached to the case that you almost become the person that you're trying to find, because you're going through all these emotions with them and visions, and oh my God, they went through this. What I've learned from doing missing persons, not all of the missing persons are kidnapped, thrown in a ditch, or in the back of the trunk.
Wow.
Or
Yeah.
that's not the case. Many of the cases, especially young adults, is they run away.
Yeah, they just decide they figured it all out. And they're gonna do their own thing. It's like, really? Then they run the
So
money, and then all of a sudden they show up somewhere.
different cases, different stories. Some of them are just out there, perhaps on drugs, and kind of just changed a whole lot and forgot the family. Just they like to do what they do. So we've even helped people that way. But I was amazed at first how I learned so many cases are different, and it's not all just murders and kidnappings. There's so many different scenarios.
Right.
And
And even there's a home that there could be a lot of drugs involved at home, and the kid doesn't want to be there. They rather leave. So, they get called as being missing. So there's a lot of things behind a case. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, and a lot of people just, and growing up as a kid, I remember I was part of the wild bunch of kids, believe it or not. A lot of the kids, they would be the kids that would run away and take off from their family and stuff. We're growing up punk rock, and that was like the punk rock thing to do. Yeah, we're just gonna run away to Hollywood for the weekend and crash in this abandoned hotel and stuff. And a lot of kids do that, and they just keep going and taking off, living their adventure. And it's hard for their family to try. But I've seen it on the other side as well. I've seen families with kids, and the parents just don't care. When the kids are gone, they just don't care. They do think it's like a break. Oh, well, they're off doing whatever. We got a break for now, and then they get involved, and all of a sudden they used to, if they had enough money, they would lock the kids up in like a home for wayward kids and stuff. It was a really popular thing back in those days. I think that's kind of sad, and I think with this service, it's kind of cool that you have to be able to call someone and talk to them and say, hey, I just need to check up, what are you feeling, and blah, 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 and you might be able to help them out, know that your kids are safe. I'd want to know that, that was my kid.
Yeah. And,
exactly.
we do follow up like a month or two, even after they're found or they've been home. We follow up just to say hi, how are things going? And that makes a difference. That brings a lot of sunshine,
Yeah,
Definitely.
together, that bonding, that healing. That's where the healing begins.
a lot of healing. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's awesome. So tell me about. Oh, so I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tara.
Sometimes it's hard for all of us when there are missing persons and there's no outcome. It's like a cold case file. Sebastian Rogers, he's all over the internet, all over the news. Still hasn't been found. But I don't think he's here anymore, because I do have incredible pictures, and what I see tells the story. And sometimes even the family's involved, and they're, cousins, aunts, uncles. Sometimes it's just a really sad story, when people off people just because of whatever is going on within themselves and their surroundings. So that is very sad. But yeah, mostly our outcomes are great.
Mm-hmm. So we learn to detach after we do a file. You just cut the cord of emotional cord, and you can sleep through the night, because sometimes you can't stop thinking of the cases. And it does help the people on the team. They grow, they evolve more, they become stronger, confident, because they're being acknowledged for the information they provided. There's no wrong or right answer, because it pieces together with the whole story, the whole report.
We have a case right now where this person is coming back and forth between us and the parents and wants justice. And it is very hard because it's so sad, but I understand that. On my equipment, he'll call his name out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're here. So I start another session with photography, or, we're all in it together. So we're all trying to help both sides. And it really does help settle people's heart and soul when they can understand what happened, and then that their family members in these pictures smiling huge. And it is exactly who is not here any longer, who has been murdered or passed away, but it is such a reward to have these beautiful testimonials written by parents. It is heartwarming, and they just have been searching and searching and searching out year after year, and then we can give them closure.
Yeah, that's the biggest
awesome.
part. Closure.
Yes.
That wondering and guessing and just emptiness for so long is torture. That just scars your soul.
Right. So we're in the beginning stages of all this, Stefan, and we know that down the line, down the future, it's only going to roll bigger, with other equipment, with other things that are going to help find missing persons,
Absolutely. I'm sure it'll get bigger and bigger, and I'm sure your network will keep expanding, because that's pretty much what it has to happen. I mean, it can't go backwards; it can only go forward, right?
Right.
Very cool. So, out of all the S files that you guys have been doing, tell me your favorite S file.
I like Caitlin's story. We have so many.
They're all good stories. I mean, they're all at different levels. They're all good, Stefan. There's not one, because it's very rewarding when you close the case. I mean, it just brings such a great peace, and they all are different levels, different stories, different situations. I mean, they're all just perfect. I don't even know what to say about that. They're just so good, right, Tara?
They are, each of them individually.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
well, tell us about the Caitlin one.
You start. I'll finish.
Yeah, come on, tell me a story.
Caitlin has been missing for over 10 years. And we had worked on this case before. We brought it up to the family again. And Caitlin ended up, she was with her partner on a bridge. This was in Canada. And she suddenly went missing. And from that point on, she's still a cold case. She hasn't been found. And when our team put their information, they submitted their information, it just told a whole story to the family that brought them a lot more peace. They've been waiting for information for 10 years. But this happened a little more than 10 years. And when Tara came in and shared her photography, go ahead, Tara, tell that story.
Communicating with the girl, I didn't know. I just knew I didn't quite know the story, because we don't really discuss it. We don't know each other, so we wait to turn our reports in. But I got this photo, and I asked Caitlin, can you come in and smile really big? This is for your mother. This is for you. And the photograph that I got was this beautiful blonde-haired girl with this big smile, just gorgeous. So we submitted that to her mother, and she knew that was her daughter right away. Mm-hmm. So with the story and the photograph, it was amazing to put them side by side, because total match. Little girl's blonde hair, younger, just beautiful. And it was a shame she was missing and all that happened to her, but the healing was huge for her mother.
Right. And every year they light up the bridge where she went missing. For the past 10 years, they've been lighting up the bridge with purple lights in honor of her missing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's huge.
And with the photos, you can actually say they're not dead. No one dies. They are here. They are in a different dimension. They're in heaven. That's what I like to say. And they're happy and doing great. And that is the proof I like to submit, because it's total matchup on Facebook, and it is just a beautiful thing.
And the beautiful thing about that is that the family will say, yeah, she came to visit me in my dreams. So they accept the fact that they're not here, but they're here, if that makes sense. So it brings a lot of peace to the family or to the mom that she still gets visits from her daughter.
Well, that's awesome. You know, and as part of the closure thing as well, you know, not forgotten, it's not lost, it's still with you, just changed.
Right.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
It feels
Wow.
good. Each just makes you feel really good. And the more I ask, the more we get. The more we talk about it and help people, the more we get. And everybody's specific gift that they throw into these situations is just an incredible story all around. And you don't hear that from a whole lot of people, you know, that the testimonials are on the site.
Yes.
So it's cool to actually open up and read those too, because it shows how we were effective and helped them.
After doing a case, a team member will say, hey, you know what? I slept through the night. They came to me. I can't believe I've never done any mediumship, but they start to develop their abilities. They start opening up these areas that they didn't even know they had. That's what's so amazing. And then you're like, right on, you know, you root them on, you cheer them on. And it's like, right on. You know, that person came to you. What else? Write it down. You know, what other information? So you kind of, you know, I find myself pepping people up because I already could see they're evolving. Their confidence has built up like 100%. And they're ready they can't wait to get the next case. Well, when is the next case coming? Well, just hold on.
They want you to know right away because you're psychic. They're like, hey, you know, so tell me what time? I'll be back.
Right.
Zoom meeting with a family member, and I could see right on this woman's chest, I could see her child. And I did not have my phone with me, so Van Doren took some pictures, sent them to me, and there he was. So it was like, okay, you're with me. And that felt good. So that is very special.
Yeah, you know, Stefan, when we're having a Zoom meeting or whatever the situation may be, they'll show up in the Zoom meeting. They really will. And we capture
Really?
it.
That's cool.
We've seen
you hear their voices and stuff in like the EVPs in the recording, maybe.
Yes, exactly. And that's what I hear a lot of times, because I'll go on trying to figure something out and using the equipment that I have, and I can hear this kid's name all the time. So he's pushing for justice. You know, they do. If something particular happens, if any of these people were murdered, they want justice if that person is still out there. So to put everything together and try and locate people and solve situations, it's not always easy, but it's worth every step and every minute. It may take a week or two or more, but it helps very much.
So the S files are huge for us. They're the spirit soul files.
Cool. Is it spirit files or soul files?
S is for anything.
For Stefan, obviously.
Yeah, I love it.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm going to tell people from now on, yeah, you know.
You're the amazing Brigati.
It'd be amazing, yes.
That's funny. That was good. That was good.
So if anybody wants to get a hold of you individually to ask about mediumship, they can. Is there another website or email address they can find you? Or social media? What's your best location?
We have social media and Facebook for one case at a time. Or I also have my own personal website as a psychic, vandorenfigueredo.net. I'm also on that website.
Cool. And what about you, Tara?
Facebook. Tara Paranormal is on Instagram, and Tara Mead is on Facebook, Spirit Photographer. So that is connect with us, and we're out there if anybody needs help.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
And we do
Very
free. We don't charge. I mean, if there's always a reward or something where we find somebody, that might help a little bit, but we don't ask ever, 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 because not everybody has money, and it's all about healing and sharing energy and solving a case or communication. So, I mean, I work, so I'm not stressed on that. And it is the fact that we put ourselves out there for absolutely free help. And that I like that because it's rewarding every case we have. So that's what we're here for.
That's awesome. Looking forward to hearing more about your cases. Keep us in the loop. Let us know what's going on. If something happens, you want to come back on the show and talk about one of these cases that are just, they're amazing cases. So you can always come back and tell us more stories about these cases. Anything new comes up, or if you do an expansion, let us know. We'd love to have you guys come back on the show and advertise and help spread the word, because I think it's very important. So that's why I really wanted to have you guys on the show, because I want more people to know about the service you guys are providing.
Thank you.
We appreciate that very much. We're so thankful that you had us on the show today. I do appreciate that. Thanks, and I love you.
Oh, thank you so much. Love you too. All right, you guys, we only have a couple of minutes left. We're gonna have to wrap. Thank you so much, everybody who have been watching and listening to My Darkest Hour. You guys have been joining us as we've been talking to Van Doren Figueredo and Tara Mead, and we're talking about their newest adventure, which I think is absolutely amazing, called the S-Files. So you guys can go on social media, look it up, find out a little bit more about it, finding people, persons, places, and things all over the world. People coming together using their talents. So it's a big thing. It's the future of psychic investigation, I believe. And I hope this becomes a bigger thing and more people use it, because it's really making a difference in people's lives. And thank you guys so much for contributing this service and joining us and telling us a little bit more about it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, you guys. I'll talk to you guys later, and don't go anywhere. I'll be right there.
Okay. Thank you for having us.
All right, guys. We're gonna wrap the show now. It's been so great to have them on. I just think the whole idea of what they're doing is really a game changer in a lot of ways, and it's very important. I think people should reach out a bit more, even those who are just thinking they're psychic and just testing the waters. I think a lot of people have abilities. I think we're pretty much born with abilities. I think there's some things in us that we just need to wake up. And sometimes something tragic happens or whatever, and it wakes us up a little bit more stronger. But I think we just focus and try to develop it. Things will happen. And I think with that awakening, so to speak, I hope more people get in tune with that, and they can help share their gifts and make this world a much better place. So that's going to be it for this edition of My Darkest Hour. I want to thank everybody out there. I want to thank everybody at iHeartRadio, everybody at Live Paranormal, Paraflix, all my sponsors, everybody who sends in your pictures and videos. I really appreciate it. And like I said, I get back to every single person. So you can still contact me at mydarkeshourradio@gmail.com. Go ahead and send those pictures off, and I will answer every picture. But you can't get mad at me if I tell you it's an orb or some kind of residue on your camera because you didn't clean your camera lens. You asked me for my opinion. I'm going to tell you my opinion. So let's all be friends and just send me your stuff, and I'll tell you what I got. And don't forget to join me on the weekends at the University of Magicus. You can go to magicu.com, and that is going to give you all the classes and all the teachers. So go ahead and join us. And we will see you next week right here on My Darkest Hour. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you guys next time. Right here. Once I find the right button. This is it.
My name is Stefan Brigati, and I've been investigating the paranormal for over 30 years. Come along with me and my team as we take a journey into the unknown. This is my darkest hour.